Okay, so what's up there guys, and welcome back to Digger Detecting, and welcome back to old Don's farm site. Some will remember we've spent a lot of time here in the past. There used to be an old house site right here where I'm standing, and just down below, past those tree lines there used to be another house site, and once again, a stone's throw away, there was a third house site. So all on old Don's property, and I tell you what a magnificent bloke Don is too. I first come here about 4 or 5 years ago. I basically found him down the paddock there chopping wood. Don is 86 years of age too, I might add. He was down there with his dog chopping some wood, and I sort of drove down the paddock and approached him, and he said basically, mate, go for it, do what you like. He said there was a house site here, one there, and one further over in the corner. He pointed them all out to me. So a little bit of further research, and basically found quite a few old maps and allotments and pictures and aerial views from the 1950s, basically showing the old house site here, which I'll throw up top left corner for you to have a look at. So that beautiful old acorn tree there, the row of pine trees there, we've got some pink lady daffodils, pink lady bulbs I should say, coming up over in the corner. Always a dead giveaway, the old pink lady bulbs, or the bearded irises, or the fruit trees or peppercorn trees, all dead giveaway signs. So anyway, I just started out hunting here, and look, as I said, we've spent a lot of time here in the past, but I've just literally walked in the gate. I walked down over sort of to here, targeting a few different signals. The detector's really jumping around quite a bit today. However, we have our first coin, one that has been missed in the past before. As I said, I've spent so much time here. However, no site is ever fully done, and you know, I honestly believe that. So I truly believe that you can return to these sites time and time again and still find more. So 1910, a little English seeded half Britannia penny. What a ripper, what a beauty. So late 1800s this site was settled. I think it was about 1880. However, I can see the 1949 aerial image of this house site, very black and white grainy image. However, you can make out basically where the buildings were, the tree lines were, what have you. So that's what we're going to continue to do, try and hit on a few more coins, a few more targets that we've missed here before prior, and we're going to make our way that way. So let's see what we can find for today, shall we? Next nice target, a 26, 27, a 28. What a ripper. That could be a Florin. And I'll tell you what, as I said, I've been detecting this ground for quite some time now, over 5 years, or nearly 5 years I should say. And this along the fence line here is probably one of the main places I've targeted. Because, you know, from the picture I can see that the house sort of sat right sort of in front there, and they were coming straight off the road, which is behind me. They were coming straight off the road with their horse and carts, and it sort of had a bit of a round entryway. You'll be able to see in the picture there what I'm talking about, top left corner. So basically the house would have sat right there, and it looks like there used to be like a stable or a shed or something over here. So we'll basically give this one a dig, see what it is, and we'll come back, give you a look. So I just cut that video off really quickly then, just because I noticed old Don, the property owner, he just beeped as he went past. He might even be out going out to cut some more wood. God, he is a goer. He must be, what, 86, 87 when I met him. So he must be coming on, what, 90 odd years old nearly. And he still just pots around the farm with his dog. He's got a little Nissan Navara, a little blue one. And he pots around, a dog in the front seat. And Don, his chainsaw in the back. And him and Don just sort of get in around town. It was actually funny, I seen him in a tractor specialist there the other day. I was doing through work, I was there and doing a delivery, and who happened to walk into the store before me but old Don. So said g'day to Don. I have not seen him for quite a while, I've not been out here for quite a while. So said g'day to him. I said, mate, I'll be back out to the property there again very soon, do a little bit more detecting. And typical Don style, he just said, yeah, you just do what you want, mate, you have some fun. So he is just a true legend, old Don. I just love chatting to older generation, and they can really teach you a thing or two. Also how to be so humble and you know, generous for what we have. So because they certainly are. Anyway, not a coin, that one, just a bit of rubbish. So on to the next. Next target, we've got a nice 23, 24. He was sort of jumping around a little bit, however, a nice, really nice tone. So hence why we're going to dig him. He might be a little thrippins. Those cars, trucks are flying past. They are so noisy too. Very hard. Look at that. We do too. We got a coin. There we go. Not the silver coin that we wanted. However, we have an old penny. What a ripper. As I said, no site is ever fully done. you can come back time and time again and just work that ground a little bit more methodically. You know, maybe hold your tongue in a different direction. Maybe try new settings, but no sight is ever fully done. A beautiful Commonwealth full 1 penny there. Cannot get a date just yet. We'll clean him up once home in the conclusion and give you a look. So another penny for the conclusion and for the day, and to show Don too. What a ripper. So check this one out. We've got an old padlock. However, it does not have a keyhole down the bottom, as you can see. It's got 999 written on it, or it could be a 666, the devil. Isn't that funny though? We've found an old padlock that doesn't open or shut. I have no idea what it was for. So a little bit of research required on this guy. I know they do make, you know, like love locks and padlocks nowadays. They basically don't open and shut, you know, or they do. You buy them open and you lock them onto something and they're never to be taken off basically. There's no key at all. So maybe that is something like what this was meant for. I'm not saying it was a love lock. Back in the 1950s, the devil's love lock. I don't know what it really was though. It resembles a padlock. However, we need to do a bit more research and work out why the reason was it doesn't have a keyhole, or it's not a functionable padlock. That is a strange one. What a ripper of a piece though. 999 padlock. Next funny piece, still trying to work with this one out too. He's got a little bolt down the bottom, and this sort of piece up top swivels. So maybe he was sort of mounted that way. I do believe like piece of a car or something. I'm not quite sure. All these random pieces are coming out today. Who would have thought too? Because I've detected this place, something like that, you know, a big chunk of brass like that, it does not generally last very long. You give him a listen under the detector, he's quite a loud target. So from memory, it was a 20. There we go, a 2021. So that could have easily been a penny. You know, it's definitely a target that I would have normally dug in the past. I just don't know how I've missed all these signals. Well, actually I do. It's just a very, very trashy area. And as you can see, the detector is really having a bit of a moment today. So all the ironstone in the ground, all the EMI interference from the road, the power lines and all the cars shooting past. Plus we have a couple of houses not too far up that way. So still currently lived in today. So I'm sure they are contributing to all the EMI here today anyway. So we'll just do the best we can. And to be honest, I was actually sort of thinking to myself, I know exactly where the bottle pit is here. If someone remember in my last video shot here about 6 or 7 months ago, we're in the depths of winter pretty much, and I was out here digging and we marked it. We sort of marked it. I'd have to sort of double check the video, but I'm pretty sure we marked it in line with that little fruit tree there, and we're sort of standing about there. We sort of marked it with the fruit tree and then marked it over to the post. So if I quickly check that video and basically see what I said that day 6 months ago, I'm sure we can go over there and dig out some bottles straight away. Righto, so this one is a bit of an interesting one. Sort of thinking he may be part of an old lead plane. You can see the emblem on the end there, and you can see part of the gun at the front there, the gun barrel. So I'm sort of thinking this guy might have been, as I said, a clip or a wing off a toy, old toy plane. A lot of the toys back then, you got to remember, were all made of lead and then followed on by pewter and what have you, brass, copper, everything like that. So old lead, a toy plane wing, I'm going to call that guy. And I have found a few old cap guns and all that sort of stuff here in the past before. So I know there was kids here. In actual fact, there's a bit of a story to this site, and old Don sort of filled me in there one day. Basically there was a family living here. Look, I can't tell you exactly the timeline of this story. I'm presuming sort of early 1900s, sort of 1920, 1930. Basically though, there was a family living right here, and it was a dairy farm, like a lot of these places I visit. They were all farm sites founded for farming, and basically the son and the dad had a big falling out. Must have had a bit of a bit of a yelling match or a punch on, who knows. And the son went down the road there and said, "Bugger you, Dad, I'm going to start my own farm." So who knows, maybe the son had his own land down there. Maybe he purchased it off his dad. I don't know. However, all I know is was a big falling out right here at this family farm, and the son went down the road to farm himself. And that is another sight that I've done too, and a fascinating one at that. We've got bottles, you know, we found bottles hidden in trees, literally hidden in trees. I'll throw the video up top left corner, you can give it a look. Basically, you know, old cow tags, dog tags, as I said, heaps of bottles. We found some heaps of coins, and even a fascinating old piano token. So an old plaque that would have come off an old piano. So it shows a little bit of wealth down at that site. And also up here we found some military Rising Sun badges, toy cars and cap guns. So for the month of March, I thought it'd be best to be up this one. So interesting story though, a big falling out and the sun went down the road. So pretty cool. So how's that? We stood back up after blabbing for quite a way there, and look what we've found. We've found the fuselage of the plane. Check that out. I knew it was a plane's wing, and look at that, we've got him. He looks like an old Boeing or something, an old DC-9er. How cool is that? You can see the front of the cabin there. He's painted blue. He's still got the enamel paint on him. I do not want to go cleaning him up, bending him up too much just yet. Once home though, we'll do just that. We'll bend him up, straighten him all out. He is lead, so we should be able to get away with bending him. Look at the tail fin. It's been through a battle, hasn't it? He crash landed here in the paddock and lost his wing. So the wing's in there, and now we have the rest of the plane. We just need to find one more wing. Let's stand up and let's do just that. Let's see if we can swing over and find the missing wing. How cool is that? Right, so I know I'm missing a lot of digs today. I'm just sort of digging my little heart out, to be honest. Just trying to get as much as I can out for the time that I'm here. I noticed all this glass starting to come out though, a quite fancy looking glass, and to be honest, we're probably nearly over where I said that we found the bottle pit. It's somewhere within the vicinity of here. We're sort of in line with that tree, as I said, and in line with one of those fence posts over there. So that is not what I wanted to show you though. Well, it sort of is. However, just looking down the hole there, you know, it's just sort of diving the spade in, as you can see. Lucky I didn't hit this. However, check this out. We've got like a little, look, I don't know what to call it, a little bead or something, I don't know. Let's put him in the screen there so everybody can see him. I'm sort of too busy looking at him myself. Isn't that fascinating? We need to clean this piece up. I thought it might have been a marble when I first seen it. There was a lot of dirt on it, and as soon as I seen that sort of octagonal or octagonal, I don't know how to say it. I'm shocking at saying that word. Basically, I thought, oh, what is that? And still, I don't know. What is it? Let's hold him up to the light. Oh, very pretty. How cool is that? I'm trying to get into focus the best I can there for you. Let's give him one more clean up on the pants, because he's very dirty. Let's try and get some light through it, because that is such a nice colour. I think we might have to go, whoop, oh no, we're losing him. I think we might have to go with plan B and do some bottle digging here today, because that is just fascinating. Look at that, would ya? As I said, very pretty. Let's see if we can open the hole up, and let's see if we can find one more of those things, whatever they are. I don't know, they must have been like a little topper. You can see a little hole there at the top, but nothing following on the back side. So he obviously mounted to something up that way. Strange one. I cannot wait to go home and clean it up with some water though, and really get him shining. Let's see what else we can find in this hole, shall we, before we close him back up. So how cool is this one? Just walking back in from basically grabbing a drink out of the car. All the detector and all my gear is down the paddock. And we're just walking back in through the gate here. Something I didn't notice before. We've got an old horseshoe, and we've got an old axe head being pulled up by the plough, I'd say. A Don ploughing and seeding the paddocks every year. How cool is that? Horseshoe, axe head, two relics that I'll take home with me today. Rightio, so we've got our next special piece, a nice little ornate brooch there by the looks. It's funny too, just looking at it there before I flicked the camera on, just looking at it thinking, I have found one of these very, very similar, although nowhere near around here, about 50 k's away, at a completely different house site. So there you go, a nice ornate little brooch, one to clean up and show at the end of the conclusion video. What a beauty. Hey, we found the old spigot tap. Look at that, what a bloody ripper. We've found one of these guys in nearly every video lately, the old brass taps. So not quite sure what sort of center that guy had, whether he had the little square tap handle tool, or whether he had a little T-piece lever to turn him off by the fingers. So really, really cool. And we struck him on the back of the thread. What a great piece. So the old spigot tap, one in every video lately. Awesome. Rightio, we've got our next nice target, a beautiful old horse rein guide. You can really see there on the right hand side where my finger is on the inner how much those leather straps have really been wearing away. So isn't that fascinating? A beautiful old horse rein guide. And I tell you what, not many of these come out intact. Generally they're always broken off at the thread down the bottom. So what a beautiful piece, and one for the tumbler. We'll clean up nice in future. Okay, so we are slowly making our way all the way down to the dam, down the bottom of the paddock. We have walked a bloody mile today, and we've been gritting up and back from the fence line, and we've made it all the way to here. And listen to this, we've got a really nice target out in the middle of the paddock. It's a bit of a random one at that too. I'm thinking it might be a coin, which would be nice. A bit of a random one though, because we've had no signals, you know, sort of gritting back in the paddock here. I am definitely well away from the house site, so I dare say that, you know, the farmer's walked down the paddock here. If this is a coin, I dare say he's walked down the paddock with a coin in his pocket and dropped it and lost it. Here we are, we're about to find it somewhat 50, 60, 70 years on, who knows, maybe 100 years on. Let's have a look. Let's just hope it is a coin, because we really have not found too many today. I found, as I said, rising suns and all that sort of stuff before in the past here. However, I don't sort of expect another one to come out today. You know, maybe a military button or something. I don't sort of expect another sun, rising sun, to come out though. So a bit of a shame, but we've already well and truly done this site and found a lot of the good stuff. However, as you've seen today, there's still a lot of good stuff left to go. So that one was just rubbish, not a coin. Never mind, on to the next. Oh my God, we've got an awesome target down in that hole. What a bloody ripper. And I'll tell you what, that is what's going to finish us off for today. What an amazing day it's been. So I just sort of got away from the house there. Like, the house was back up over there near my car. We've sort of been wandering and gritting our way down to the dam, down to the paddock, and we've got a fair way away from the house. Sort of under the presumption, as I said there before in the last clip, that if the farmer sort of walked down the paddock, you know, to check his cows, feed his cows, do a bit of fencing, what have you, you know, it was always a daily routine. He may have had a coin in his pocket that he may have dropped. I know it was just a theory, however it's paid off, and what a bloody ripper it is too. And look what we have just pulled out of the hole. As I said, this is going to be our last target. Amazing stuff. We've got two florins in our last video. We've got one now today, and this is also, I will say, the first florin that I've found here at this site. Let's peel that dirt off. Let's have a look. Oh my Lord, that's not just a florin, that is a commemorative florin. Amazing, wow, 1916, a commemorative English florin by the look there. That is amazing. We have found some cracker coins lately, the 5 shilling coin last week, and now this early 1916 English florin. And that, I tell you what, is a design that I do not have. So let's give him a very, very gentle clean up on the pants here. I'm not going to scratch too hard. Wow, what a fabulous coin. Oh, amazing. We need to get some toothbrush and water and really ID this guy properly. A beautiful 1 florin, 1916. I am certain that is English with all the coat of arms around the outside. So amazing. That is the first florin of that type I have ever found, and also a great way to finish today. So let's button this hole back up. Let's sit that coin over there very carefully. Let's button this hole back up and let's get out of here. We'll see you at home. We'll do a conclusion, clean up everything we've got, and show you a look today, especially that coin. How amazing is that? Okay, so welcome back there, guys. We've got you at home in the backyard, and we've managed to clean up all our finds and lay them out on the board, ready to go through and give you a look. So really quite an amazing day. You know, as I said there at the start of the video, no site is ever fully done. You know, I did not expect to hit on so many wonderful targets today, especially that beautiful silver florin at the end, which we'll get to in a second. So first off, we'll show the trash coming out. I think it is always important to basically show what I'm hitting on, you know, to find the treasure. If you're willing to contend with the trash and dig it out, you will find the treasure. So basically the old horseshoe and the axe that we found laying on the surface, they must have been brought up with the plough at some stage in the last 6 months since we've been there. We also found the little file up the back there, or not so little really, probably for filing down the horseshoe nails, or maybe even the horseshoes themselves. So next up is the little buckle, and or the bigger buckle, and next up is the little buckle beside him, I should say. also a little brass one that we did find with the detector. This guy we sort of picked up off the surface as well. So following down below, we also got another spigot tap. He's missing all the internal bits and pieces, which funnily enough we found in our last video. You know, we found the internal piece, and now here we are finding a spigot tap missing the internal pieces. So next beside that guy is the 999 or 999 padlock, and look, it is a padlock. We found a hole. So really cool. I'll basically throw a picture up top left corner and you'll be able to see for yourself a little bit of googling, research, and we found the key that would fit that hole, and basically that yes, it is a padlock. It's not just for display purposes. However, it's a big chunky guy padlock. He's still got water coming out the base there from when we were cleaning him. So really cool. We've also got basically next up the plane, the old lead plane, and look, as you would have seen, we found the wing there first. So we'll detach the wing and show you, and basically what gave him away was not only the shape but this little end piece here showing a little emblem, so, and the little turret, the little guns. So really cool. If you actually show, if you actually put him back up to the fuselage of the plane, you can see there that you've actually got that perfect break. So how cool is that? You know, some what 50, 60, 70 years on, you know, this could even be early 1900s. So we could be talking about 100-year-old toy plane that some kid used to play with, and you can even see the break perfectly there. So it's been reunited somewhat, let's say 100 years on. So we're going to skip over these pieces, jump over to the left quickly. We've got the tyre valve there. We've got the beautiful old horse rein guide. As I mentioned, these are normally broken off with the thread there sort of snapped off with just a couple of rows of thread left there. So really quite nice to find this guy still intact. To the right of that guy, we've got the Smith Enfield wind-up grandfather clock key. I have found one of these detecting in the past. It's been a little bit better condition than that guy. What a ripper he is. Next up, we have the coins. Now, 1910, a little seated English halfpenny. What a bloody ripper. He was the first one that started the day off, and what a way to start the day off too, finding such an early coin. So next up, we had the 1918, a beautiful Commonwealth of Australia, full 1 penny. I absolutely love finding these guys. All the years of hunting though, I'm still searching for that 1930, so very scarce coin. I may not ever find one. And next up we had the, we'll skip the florin there. Next up we had the little bead coming out. Now this, if I can get it to focus, this come out just by chance, by fluke, you know, fluky lukey I suppose. Basically, you know, keeping those eyes peeled and really, you know, trying to just identify everything in the hole. I'm trying to hold him up to the sunlight there. Trying to identify everything in the hole, and basically, you know, don't just fill them in, don't just fill those holes in quickly. A lot of the times where you find your best stuff is in the rubbish pits, in the dumps. So if you're hunting in the dump and found a coin, chances are something else could have got thrown out there as well. So you just never know. That's, you know, pays to keep your eyes open, and that piece is a prime example why. I'm trying to get him to really pick up the light there, but I'm not really doing a great job. Anyway, last piece there below before we get to the florin is the old brooch. Quite a fancy and nice brooch at that too. I've actually found, as I said, one very similar to that. We sort of did bend him out a bit there. You can see where the patina's been knocked off as we've bent him out. We tried to bend him out as gently as possible, and we have not ruined any of the enameling on the front, which is quite nice. Quite a pretty flower design there. So last off, and what a cracker too, 1916 beautiful English florin. I'll try and hold him as steady as I can there for you. And up the top left corner, I'll throw up a few other designs of the florins that we commonly find. Let me sit down, I'll be a little bit more steadier, and I'll put him on my knee there. Basically a few other designs of the florins that we find though, and look, this one is just a cracker. I did not even know it existed. So to find something like this, you know, is just a fabulous piece. So I'll zoom back in there a bit more, and I'll flip him over. We cleaned him up there with bicarb soda and a bit of lemon juice, just soaking him in there. So I dare say he needs to go for one more round of cleaning However, it was just really for displaying him today. So for the video, for the conclusion, he come right at the end, as you've seen. So what an absolute cracker of a florin to find. So anyway guys, that is about it for us today. I really hope you enjoyed. What a ripper of a hunt. We still need to hit on more military and matchbox items for the month of March. However, we'll get to that as we can. So it always pays to visit these sites, and as I said, we had found military stuff in the past there before, so there's nothing to say there's not something there still to come in the future. So anyway guys, be sure to hit that like, comment, subscribe button below, and I really hope you enjoyed today's hunt. What a cracker coin that is too. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you next time. See you then.